Hey guys, Dan here with Battlefield Curator, and I'm going to go over how you can negotiate better in order to get a really good deal. Alright, so negotiation is very crucial for getting a deal on just about anything. Haggling's been a way of life for a while, and it's part of some cultures, especially like in the Middle East when I was in Iraq. It's like everywhere you go, you know, there's negotiation happening at the bazaars. So definitely I think negotiation is kind of a lost art here in the US, where a lot of people walk around like they've got money these days. You know, people go shop for a car and just like, yeah, I'll buy it, and don't even use any negotiation. So I think, you know, teaching you guys negotiation tactics would definitely help out. So let's look at some ways that will help you get a better bargain by just using some negotiation tactics. Alright, so the first thing I'd say is don't walk up into a shop or a show looking like you got money. I mean, don't be looking like you're like the man, because they're gonna know. Some of these guys have been trained in sales. They're essentially salesmen. They pretty much can read the customer. So, as the customer, you don't want to give off any vibes that you got money or you're willing to spend money. So, try to stay low-key, under the radar, you know, dress to impress, but at the same time, just don't look too flashy. Alright, number 2, cash is king. If you got cash, they'll be more inclined to get you a better deal, because hey, they're exchanging the goods for the money in the same transaction. There's no other parties involved. Like if you had a credit card, they would have to wait for it to clear the bank and go through a process. And not to mention, a lot of these credit card companies charge the shop a fee to process that credit card. So yeah, if you got cash, you'd be more likely to get a better deal. Alright, number 3. Get to know your local shop owners, get to know the folks and the vendors at some of the shows, get to know people in the area, some fellow milsurp enthusiasts. If you get to know people, you'll probably be more inclined to get a better deal just by the networking aspect. Also, if you frequent some of these places, the owners are probably more likely to get you a better deal because you've networked with them and you know them a lot more than just an average Joe that walks in and out. Alright, so with that being said, also, what you should do is recon a shop or a show. Look around, and if you see something you like, do a little research. Or if you can go back home, that'd be better to do the research back at the house. And that way you can gather your thoughts, gather your ideas, you know, look at the different comps. What are the other ones selling for that are similar in the same condition or similar condition? Like set a limit for a price in your head. Say, hey, if I can negotiate down to here and that saves me 20% or 10%, you know, I think that's a good deal. And I'd be inclined to buy it at that price. Now, another thing is, just don't let a good deal pass. If it's already a good deal and you're trying to get 20% off of that, I mean, don't set that limit. You know, just say, hey, the comps are actually selling for more, and yeah, you could probably talk them down a little bit, but since it's such a good deal, just make the transaction if you know that's the right thing to do, because a lot of times I've regretted that I've seen something that I've liked and I said, that's a pretty decent price. Let me do some research. I think I'm going to wait a few days, and I go back a few days later and it's gone because somebody else knew that was a good deal and they jumped on it. Definitely set a limit price if it's already set at a really high price. Alright, so another thing with this, don't try to lowball. If you see what it is already a good deal, and let's say it's like $500, and you say, I'll give you $150 for it, they're gonna look at you and be like, you serious? You know this sells on GB for like $600-700. It's already a pretty good value. You just got off on the wrong foot, right? So your negotiation power is not gonna be that great anymore, you know? They're just like, hey, this guy's trying to steal this and flip it. Or you give off the vibe that you're just a real big cheapo. You don't want to do that. Alright, so we're almost done here. And if you could just do me a favor and pulverize that like button and subscribe for the algorithms, it really helps out with the growth of the channel. I'd appreciate it. Alright, something else that you shouldn't do is get emotionally attached to an item. That really shows the shop owner that you are definitely wanting that item. What you should do instead is look around the shop, ask the shop owners to look at some of the other products in there, and then just kind of teeter back and forth. I like to kind of look at something and then look at something else. And then, the product that I do want is the one that I'm going to negotiate a little bit more on and see, okay, what's he's going on here. So that way the shop owner, who could also be a professional salesman, is not looking at you like, oh yeah, he really wants that. So if he really wants that, he's going to buy it today. They would definitely be able to sense that you are emotionally attached to that item right off the bat. So don't give off those vibes. Don't forget about asking about out the door. If you say out the door, that implies that that is what you will pay, and hopefully you have cash for this, with all the taxes included, and that's with any fees included, and the price of the weapon included. And at the end of and when you walk out that door, that is the set price that you would be paying. That's what out the door means. Another thing you want to do is look at the condition of this weapon and figure out if it's actually in kind of poor condition, or the bore condition as well. Definitely look at the bore, definitely inspect it, look for any mechanical issues, any chips, dings, any broken pieces, or just cracked stock. So especially if it's damaged really bad, then yeah, you would probably negotiate even further down in price, or just walk away from the deal if you won't go below a certain price because of the damage. So all that will help in your negotiation power. All right, let's say you walk into a shop and you use my tactics to where you look around and look at different items, and you see something that you really like. You don't show your emotional attachment to that item. You take a look at some other things, and then you come back to it, and then you do some research on it, maybe when he's distracted, not looking, and then you come to a conclusion that, hey, on average they're selling for around 600 on GB, right? So you say, hey sir, would you be able to do 550 out the door on this? And he's probably gonna say, I got 700 on there, I could probably do 675. So let's try, well, hey sir, the condition of this weapon isn't really in the best. I was kind of thinking about maybe 585. And then he might come back and say, well, the best I could really do is 650 on it. So you gotta remember, he's trying to make a living, he's trying to make money. 650, he said that's the best he can do. And you say, well sir, I did a little bit of research, and right now they're going on GB for about 600-ish. So could you do like 625? And then he say, well, let me see. And then he might look at it in his computer, crunch the numbers. He might give you a good price on it. Like, okay, I could do 625. And then you made a deal. And so he got what he wanted, you got what you wanted. Use a little negotiation tactics. Some of these shop owners will respect you for using negotiation tactics because they know you're a savvy person, and that you're somewhat intelligent, and you're doing research. You're not just going out there and throwing money all around. So you agree to the deal and you walk out the door 625 for the item that was priced at 700. That's a savings of 75 bucks. Plus whatever fees or taxes could have been added to that 700, which would probably equate to what, 770. So yeah, you probably save yourself, a big chunk there. So hopefully this information was valuable to you guys. It could help you get a better deal in the future. As you grow your collection, I think every deal counts when you're accumulating. So, in the long run, even saving 10 bucks here or there, or 20 bucks here and there will definitely help you out in your ventures. All right, guys, well, that's it for the video. And don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Facebook. And as always, be sure to learn history and curate history. Make it a great day.